Alright, I'm back. Restarted me here. It might just be this section. Wow, this is crazy. I'm actually playing 24 hours, like, the next day. So it's gotta be just this particular place. 24. So if I did another 2,000, another 3,000, 3,100, 3,200. I don't think I have that many. I've been collecting them for a bit. 5 times 2, that's 1,000. I only have 1,400. Okay, okay. Let's just take our time. Love that. This is the Impaler's Catacombs. Found on the Weeping Peninsula. We got stacked up here. Oh, I gotta go kill some bears for that one. Let's see what we got before we waste the components. Alright. Oh shit. Alright, there's on this guy. Okay. Things have been upped. So a similar guard dog situation, but with more of those little dudes. I think what I want to do is I'm going to go back to my halberd because I'm just way better with that. I'm going to definitely don't worry about that. This would be a situation in which amethyst there. Ooh. Shit. Oh shit. Oh, I got it. I didn't think I was gonna get that. I didn't think I would be able to get that out. You gotta get your... Oh my god, those dogs get murdered. Let me come back to this fight. Let's try it one more time. God damn. I don't think so. Mm-mm. No, ma'am. Y'all can have it. And the thing is, it's like, that's pretty traditional. That's not like in these other places where the Golden Order, like, let's continue along our way. Now, I'm sure that fight would have offers me a lot of knowledge, but or skill. But at the moment, we're on a mission. Giving up 2,500 runes. That's right, because I lost them on that one. Alright. have a letter to deliver. But his castle seems to be in distress. Oh shit! That went pretty far. These guys. Shit. Another memorial. Siege of Castle Morne. A lone hero fights for his vengeance, only to fall at the hand of Lord Godfrey. This Lord Godfrey went from this point. I mean, he came all the way down from the tree, all the way, way up there to the highest peak of that mountain. Fought his way all the way down through all of the lands between to this castle. And the person here was fighting for vengeance. So there was some sort of oppressive force, or resistant force, I should say. as Lord Godfrey sort of smashed his way and crashed his way down to this final spot at the very edge. I mean, we're down to the very edge. You can see the road here. But bridge is broken here, so we have to kind of make our way through the castle. And this is kind of the other place that we went to. We kind of went up. You know, kind of when they come out here, they could... And this is where... gosh, I get all their names wrong. Melania. Melania, she was making her way down here, you know, kind of smashed her way through Godric. And this is kind of like later down the road after the shattering, because like Godfrey came down, you know, all the way down, made his way, and as soon as he finished here, when he, you know, I imagine it happened here, you know, somewhere in this castle, you know, and he's like breathing heavy, he's killed the last thing, and then Queen Marika was like, alright, thanks, and the gold in his eyes, like, just diminished. He was, at that moment, transformed into the first Tarnish. He was both the first Elden Lord for Queen Marika, but also the first Tarnished, and then sent away. And for however many years later, the Golden Order was like, okay, cool, we conquered, we had our war, we won, and it's now our way of life. And that's how it's been and continues to be until someone steals this rune of death, and in that process is able to kill one of these demigods, which was Godwyn. You know, so there's Godfrey, the father, the warrior, the conqueror, the first Elden Lord. He conquers all this place, all of the lands between, and you'll see it is expansive. And so he makes his way all the way to here, and then Queen Marika's like, all right, thanks, and she dismisses him and lets the order happen. And her firstborn with Godfrey is this, I mean, he's literally like the golden child, if there ever is one. You know, he had long flowy golden locks, he was, you know, beloved, and then he was killed, and that makes Queen Marika so angry. She shatters the Elden Ring. Pieces go everywhere. I mean, you still see pieces floating in the sky sometimes. We're finding them in those little skulls. Like this guy right here. This is a piece of that gold. This is the piece of the Elden Ring. It's a golden rune. It's only kind of has like 200 in it. And the bigger pieces are being held and sort of by these demigods, and they have all this power. So Godric is the first person we're kind of after. Now Godric is part of the golden lineage, but you know, who knows how far down, how many generations away he is from greatness, you know, from Godfrey. And so it feels like if he's having to like graft, and when you're talking about grafting, he's like severing limbs and then sewing them or using some sort of melding or some sort of magic that attaches it to either to these spiders he's creating. So he is attempting to take all these, the good parts of everybody else and force it upon himself and take it for himself. There's this kind of horrific imagery there for me. And so that's just sort of one opposing force. That's just what's happening here in Limgrave. We're getting some hints of other places, but there's no reason to like delve into things that are not around us. And so we're kind of like, and so they come there, has the shattering happens, and so that's kind of the story of Melania, who, her memorial's here talking about how like she just sort of made Godric the Golden, because he's part of the Golden lineage, kind of cower. And then she went over here, and there was some sort of mention about scarlet rot and everything like this, and it seems like this land here seems tainted by something. But if anything, she is an incredible fighter, and learned her ways through this blue fairy, that sort of came from rot itself, but again, I'm kind of getting myself into a storyline that's not necessary for quite some time. I think it's important at this point, what we've been introduced to is really this one area, Limgrave, and the Weeping Peninsula. And these two places are, just sort of like the remnants of this multiple wars. Because, like, these fallen ruins here, now this may be from Godfrey's time. It could be part of the Shattering, when all the other demigods were, like, fighting each other, and Melania's fighting Godric, and all these people, that's just sort of, we're in this, like, place that has many histories, and that's sort of, I think, what makes this place in this game, and the design and everything, so kind of amazing, because it's just sort of so like real in its utter almost alien fantasy, So many RPGs get stuck in, either being just completely, I don't know, like stuck in like a Lord of the Rings fantasy, elves, dwarves, or you're just doing like that formula, but then you create your own race, so you're still doing the exact same thing thematically, but you're just changing out the race for like a Gooblegop, But this game, like, really, and I think bringing in George R.R. Martin to kind of, I imagine his role was really fleshing out the intricacies of all the royalty, and the, like, instead of kings and queens, he uses like demigods and gods and all these things, and there's still that like hierarchy of family bickering that happens, and how those experiences trickle down to us mere mortals. And then, of course, just the way in which it deals with alien nature and our relationship with, the cosmos. And it's just a very it's just incredible. I can't believe I get to play it, you know? Like what an amazing story, you know? And there's so much to also like kind of pull from it on a philosophical level, and just sort of meditate on. Got our map. And just like if you think of, just think about the various kind of relationships that are that happen in here, and what each sort of demigod kind of represents, and it's just awesome. In terms of design, I feel like the Weeping Peninsula is this, this feels like a heart to me, It has this kind of heart thing, and then there's this one arm that kind of goes off and it's rotten. And there's this other arm that's this, it's a castle, it's definitely like blocking your way. And then down here is sort of this Weeping Peninsula, this place that is kind of blocked off from the rest of the land, That bridge is keeping people off, If we go down here to... I can't remember if I got it. I was so busy thinking, talking. I didn't. Another little golden seed. So like this tree wants to be a baby tree, which may become the big tree. Come down here. I really like the halberd. So people come in from this place, come to the Lands Between. That's what that young woman that we found in red, and she was talking about her fellow Tarnished. I like to imagine that she's also sort of a maiden that... Oh, I don't need to kill this guy. Good practice, I suppose. She, I imagine that she came up from one of the coasts here, and was making her way with a little band, talking about who could potentially be the next Elden Lord, and they're fighting with each other, and then they get captured. And then she's just like left there to be like, am I supposed to continue going? What is my life? So I like to think of like the Weeping Peninsula as all these various forces and potentially things that are, you know, in this place, like everything's basically kind of the way it should be, you know. Godric's got his presence all around, you know. There's nothing really allowed to be, you know, we got Tarnish kind of fighting each other. I mean, things seem to be the way they're supposed to be. You know, you have a D's up here sort of keeping an eye on like this undead situation. We didn't really see it, but you could see like there's this little wall that kind of blocks off Caelid Wilds, all this rot over here. So Godric's, you know, he's got a little tight ship. You know, even though Kenneth Howe, you know, I mean, even Godric kind of took over this fort. We have a jail kind of working and stuff. I think the similar experience is happening here, but I think when we pay attention, we'll start getting a little bit of like a hint at other things, you know. There's something else. And I think we're gonna do Castle Morne next time. Let me see if we can do something else. I don't want to go through halfway through the hour. Poison bloom. This is a poison muck, almost like a swamp kind of vibes. Luckily, Torrent has he's a spectral steed. Oh shit. Ooh, nice. Oh no! Oh no! Wow. Can't just... Well, it's good to know that there's some poison bloom over here, because we need that for our... This is why we rest. So one thing is this gravitational, these alabaster lords are, you know, it's like what their motivation is and stuff, unknown. Do I have to go back up there to get it? I hope not. go this way. Oh shit, shit, shit. Get out of that swamp. Picking up these poison blooms. They are... Alright. Let's see what's else up here. Bear. I need bears. Or they're hefty. Aw. These were the servants of that castle, known as the Misbegotten. You can see that they were born with more bestial bestial in nature. All right. Grab some sheep. And then make my way. Ooh, now that's what I want. Oh, shit. Ooh, a poison mist. Cool. Storage place. Nice. And we have 7. All right. Now we're going to go into Castle Morne.